Shalom. First off, before I get started, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Alright, double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that rule well, and peace and salutation also to the Akim that's pushing his word and truth and sincerity right through the four corners of the earth. Alright, this is the brother Zion Amath from the GMS Detroit Bio Camp, coming to you with another video, dealing with our natural born enemy, all right, the so-called white man, all right, for those that didn't know or don't know, all right, who is Esau, Edom in the scriptures. He goes by the name Esau as well as the name Edom, word Edom meaning red, all right, which is attributed to his flesh, because he's not white at all right. What you're seeing is his blood showing forth, all right, through his pale skin, all right. So he's actually red or pink, all right. But either way, pink being a derivative of red, so he's the red man that's walking the earth. He's the red devil, right, that the Bible is speaking of. Okay. So in today's video, I just wanted to deal with the fact that Esau, Edom, he basically relinquished his birthright. He gave it up, all right, because he didn't cherish and honor. Neither is he spiritual at all. Because Esau, he's referred as a beast in the scriptures, right? He did just what a beast would do, which is basically to favor the desires of the flesh, rather than the spirit. All right, so I want to read this just to open it up. This is Hebrews 12:16, and it says, "Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright." So see, that's all it took for Esau to go off. That basically he made a bogus agreement. It was all set up through the spirit, but unfortunate for him or for the right white race, all right, that he gave his birthright up, for one morsel of meat, all right, which basically that changed. That moment changed, Esau's life forever. Because in that moment, all right, he gave up the kingdom of heaven. He gave up immortality. He gave up, all right, to rule, with a rod of iron forever and ever. He gave up, basically the power, all right, the eternal power that the Most High is going to give, the children of Israel, right, the so-called Negroes, Latins, and Native Americans today. All right, he gave that all up for one instance, for one moment, showing, hey, and that's heavy, because that just shows how serious, that one moment, one hasty judgment, can change your whole life. So we always have to be, circumspect and, stay in the spirit, at all costs, But yeah, Esau, he let it all go to basically to be satisfied for a moment, So I want to get the account, all right, which you can read about that in Genesis. I'll get it right quick. I think it's let me get it. Salakia. Salaki's 25. Genesis 25. Let's see, and this is just to show, a small Salaki, am I recording? It's just to show that it shows that Esau has no integrity, especially when it comes to, spiritual things. He has no integrity. He has no willpower, if you will. He has no discipline. All right. He's the one, that's ruling as of right now. He's the one that promotes, to do as thou wilt. To just do it, to do what feels good, to live in the moment. Hey, and again, all these things, that philosophy, all right, it basically ruined him. All right, now he has to suffer, all right, in the kingdom of heaven, all right, under the Israelites, all right. And that was basically the Most High's intention from the beginning. It just had to play out this way, all right, so that when the Most High comes back, he'll be justified in his doings. He'll be justified, all right, and having us rule over Esau, right, and then ultimately being destroyed, all right. But just to read the account, let's see, it's 25, Genesis 25, and I'm gonna start at 29. It says, and Jacob saw the pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. So basically through the spirit, Jacob was asking, for me to feed you in this moment, what is it worth to you? Because see, Esau, he could have countered, he could have made it was up for negotiation, He could have countered with something else and say, well, nah, I can't give you my birthright, but I could do, whatever. But again, with Esau being hasty, right, and being, undisciplined, and that shows you he doesn't. Just looking in his actions today, you can tell he has no value for life. You know what I'm saying? Even his own. So, everything is spiritual. That's why Esau, he did this. And in that moment, it was like a ripple effect, up to this very day, to where, you have all these Edomites. They have no regard of, for life. You got certain of these Edomites that, are well off and got money. And shit, you couldn't tell by looking at them because they look like a bum, and or if they have money and resources, they spend it fucking the earth up, creating, poisons and things to basically further hurt, humanity, to do more destruction to the earth, and one form or another. But just to read on, it says, and Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. So, hey, Jacob got the birthright fair and square. All right, so there, even in this day, all right, to fast forward, all right, that no so-called Edomite Christians, all right? I don't care what religion, all right, or how much they think they believe or how they come off on how they praising the Lord, all right, that they believe in Jesus, that they have faith. It doesn't matter, right? Because the birthright was given up to Jacob. So there's nothing they can do, right? It's nothing these Edomites can do. They can do all the pleading they want, all the begging they want. There's nothing they can do to put themselves basically in good graces with the Most High, right? Because, hey, how the saying go, a deal's a deal, right? All right, so, hey, a deal was made here between Jacob and Esau, all right? You can see that, hey, he didn't treasure, all right? He didn't respect the birthright. You know, he treated it as if it was just, you know, as if it was frivolous. You know, it's nothing, you know. And lo and behold, that moment basically is going to ultimately get him destroyed, right, in the kingdom of heaven after we rule, after the Israelites, right, you so-called Negroes, Blacks, and Native Americans rule in the kingdom of heaven for 1,000 years, right? Esau is ultimately going to be destroyed, all right, pursuant to the book of Obadiah, all right? You can read the book of Obadiah. It's one chapter long, but it's a fire chapter. It talks about Esau being burned, right? Burned alive. Because basically it's going to be no more use for Esau. Because the Most High is going to put, you know, his laws in our inward parts, all right? He's going to program us, or reprogram us, should I say, you know, to where we don't go off or have wicked thoughts. So therefore, there's going to be no need for the whooping stick, the sword, who is Esau. Right? He can be moved out the way. We won't need him to correct us anymore like he is now. That's the reason why Jake is being shot down the street, right? Being ridiculed, being, you know, cussed out and called niggas and spics and everything else, right? In this society, in this time, because of us going off against the Heavenly Father, right? Basically, the Most High, he had to correct us. He had to chastise us, and he uses Esau and these other nations to do it, you know. But the beauty, you know, from chastisement, from a whooping, is that, hey, you'll get up and walk again. But with Esau, when he's judged, all right, he's going to be put out of his misery, all right? And ain't no coming back. He's not, the Most High will not be light on Esau. He's not going to show any favor to the wicked, all right? So no Christians, right? No so-called Mr. Rogers type Edomites are coming into the kingdom, all right? Their only purpose in the kingdom is to do work, is to slave, is to be a servant unto the Israelites, all right? That's what's going down. As the saying goes, what goes around comes around. All right, the Most High deals with retribution, deals with payback, with recompense. So for all the rape, robbery, and murder that Esau, the so-called white man, did unto the children of Israel, hell, and unto the whole earth, just the way he's just poorly mismanaged the earth, all right, he's got to pay for all that. All right, he's got to pay for killing off, you know, wildlife by the millions. Right, the sea life, right, messing up the air, the water, you know, messing up the food we eat, creating food out of thin air virtually, you know, where goddamn tomato is not even a tomato anymore, you know, lettuce is not lettuce, you know, nothing is, it's authentic here in this place, America, with this devil ruling. All right, so, hey, in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to get back to all that, all right? We're going to get back to everything in its original state, in its purity, you know, and it's going to be a beautiful thing, But hey, Esau has to be dethroned, you know. So, basically there's gonna be no pardon, all right, for the the nation of Edom, all right, because like I say, a deal is a deal. Esau, he sold his birthright, all right, unto Jacob. I just read it, all right. So as the saying go, it is what it is. So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well, and peace and salutation to the Akim that's pushing his word and truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom.